Welcome to Josiah Plays the Book of Unwritten Tales. I've been wanting to do a point-and-click adventure game in the classical style for a while now. Haven't actually played any of these type of games for quite a long time, since I was a kid, back playing some of the really old ones like the King's Quest sort of games. So this is apparently a very good adventure game. I've read reviews about the game on some of the adventure game specific sites and elsewhere. Even Rock Paper Shotgun had some very nice things to say about it. And it looks like a lot of fun. I played about 15 minutes of the demo of this game, and it was amusing. It was really nice looking, and great sound, good voice acting, and good humor and everything. So this is a point-and-click adventure. For those who aren't familiar with this kind of game, there's no combat, there's no real mechanics in the sense that you would have in an RPG. You pretty much just explore around the world, and you solve sort of little puzzles and stuff, and talk to people and figure things out, and just have your adventure that way, without having to worry about fighting. So there's not really any twitch skill or anything involved in this kind of game at all, or even like the kind of strategizing or crunching numbers that you might have in an RPG. It's just about exploration and getting into the story and solving, sort of logical puzzles for how to proceed and overcome things, using the environment and objects and stuff. So I think it'll be exciting. From what I've read about it and a little bit I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a really fun game. You play multiple different characters throughout the story, so we will meet an interesting cast of characters as we go along. I think there's 3 or 4 main characters that you actually play, and you alternate between them, and then maybe you even play more than one of them at once toward the end, as far as I understand. But it looks really good. This is a German game. Made by a German indie developer, but it's been very popular and long awaited for an English version to come out, and it finally just has. And so I'm one of the first people that will be Let's Playing this on YouTube. Not the first. There's a couple of people that beat me to it that have some videos for this out already, but here's mine, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think it'll be fun. So we're going to go into it here and see what it's like. So we're going to start off with a new game. Book of Unwritten Tales. Chapter 1. Prologues. We got a loading screen here. Throw a 20. Nice. Hide bugs. It's always important to hide the bugs. Cool. Here we go. Book of Unwritten Tales.
Our world is at war. Only the old can remember a time without fear, without bloodshed. Defeat followed victory. Victory followed defeat. No one could gain the decisive advantage. Only now is there an end in sight. Who would ever have thought that it would fall to someone like me, an old archaeologist, to put an end to this madness? And I didn't find the key to ending the war on one of my expeditions. Not deep in some dark dungeon, nor on the peak of a fiery mountain. No, I found it in an old book. I only hope that luck has not abandoned us. What's happened to Beetle and the Archmage's men? Doesn't he know how...
Uh-oh. What's going on here? The drop. Oh wow, drama.
So then, you're McGuffin, are you? Archaeologist, adventurer, and future trophy on my mother's living room wall.
And you are Munkus, dastardly son of the Archwitch Mortroga. What do you want from me?
Wow.
I think you know that. Where is it? We know that your feeble-minded servant was on the way to that damned magical trickster Alistair.
I won't tell you anything.
Take him away. Mother has ways and means of squeezing what we need to know out of him.
Oh really? Ways and means, huh? That's quite a brute.
After all, what's likely to happen? Oh well, we're several days away
Huh.
from the wildlands. It's just as safe here as in the elf burrow. Oh, then, if it was left up to them, I'd just be spending the whole day...
Oh, wow.
What's going on? No, of course I won't do anything stupid. You're right, we should get help. Quick, back to the elf burrow. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. One spirited leap later. And here it looks like with the dragon, right? It's in the air flying. And I guess here we are. We're in here. So we're playing this lovely elf girl who has decided to jump onto the dragon. She just said, let's do it. And I can... There we go. Take a look at an object, click it with the left mouse button. Now try it on the rope over on the right. Alright, cool. So here I am. Basically the way this works is you hold down spacebar and it'll show you things. There's things in the environment that you can look at. You know, and it says look at the load, look at the rope. And so...
Huh. One end of the rope is knotted tightly. I could use it to swing onto the other side of the leg.
No kidding, huh? Well, we'll try to get over here. What's this? How about this?
Transport dragons can move great loads, like these barrels, wooden posts, and this big crate. I don't think that this stuff will help me a whole lot.
Transport dragons. They use dragons as beasts of burden in this world. Awesome. And then I can use this. You notice when I mouse over it, a thing shows up at the bottom saying, you know, what the action will do if I click there. Examine the cage and speak to the gremlin. That's the guy that was just captured that we saw in the beginning. See, and I can just move around in the environments. I mean, this is a very limited environment, obviously. And there's not anything other than him to look at or interact with here. But that's how it works. Graphics look really nice so far. The music, the sound, everything, the voice acting all sounds good. I think my character, this first character that you play, I think her name is Ivo. She's some sort of elf princess or something. I'm sure we'll find out more about her. And this guy, his voice, extremely familiar. I'm pretty sure this was the guy that did the voice of Zoltan Shive in the Witcher games. You know, Geralt's dwarf friend. That's who it sounds like to me. Let's check him out. Anyway, we're going to examine the cage.
The metal cage is fastened onto the dragon's harness. The old gremlin's in the cage. He hasn't noticed me yet.
Hasn't noticed me. So now I can talk to him.
Hey, hello, you there?
Who are you?
Oh, and see, then I get my dialogue choices. Well, we'll go with this.
My name is...
Never mind. There's something you have to do for me. What am I talking about? It's not just for me. It's for the Alliance.
I've no particular interest in the Alliance.
I don't care. This has to do with everyone. Professor McGuffin's the name. I'm an archaeologist. I've discovered something. Something important.
And they want it?
Oh, yes. You've no idea how much they want it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's definitely that. That's definitely who that is. So Professor McGuffin is his name. Okay, so this game apparently totally full of jokes, like in-jokes about other adventure games, in-jokes about gaming in general, about RPGs, fantasy tropes. So the whole thing, there's tons of satire and little like jabs at the genre in here. So starting off, guy's name is McGuffin. A McGuffin, you know, in literarily speaking, is like just sort of a random excuse object that they use to move the plot along. So that's what a McGuffin is. So that's what he's named after. That's pretty funny. So what have you discovered? Or I don't care. Well, I'm curious.
Let me guess. Your kidnappers up there want to use your knowledge to achieve world domination?
You may scoff, but they would have to skin me before I tell them what I know.
Okay then, I'll release you and let you mortals carry on playing at war.
No! We've got no time to lose. You must take this ring. Take it to the Archmage Alistair in the town of Seastone on the coast. He will send someone to my house. The book that describes where it is hidden is there in my secret cellar. He must get it to safety.
And what about you?
I will win you as much time as I can. I can endure torture for hours, days if need be. The pain, the humiliation, the agony of body and soul.
Sounds like a plan. Shouldn't I perhaps really be setting you free? You're a true hero, farewell. We'll go with this.
Perhaps I should just release you and we'll do without the pain and death bit.
That would, of course, also be an option. Less dramatic, but if you insist, I can hardly stop you.
How can I get you out of there?
Good question. This cage is well built and the lock won't be easy to deal with.
I could untie the cage and then it would smash when it hits the ground.
Just like my old bones. But it's not a bad idea. On the way to Mortroga's fortress, we'll fly over the White Ridge Mountains. Everything's covered in snow there, and the dragon will fly low over the peaks. We could try it there.
That was a joke. The chances of that working are about 1,000,000 to 1.
I can't see any other way to escape. Fighting is not an option.
Let me see how the cage is fastened.
You do that. I'll be here if you need.
He'll be here if I need him, apparently.
No idea what's going on here. But I should probably release the old gremlin before we get into enemy territory. We'll have to see how we go after that.
Alright, so I gotta release the guy. Release the gremlin. That's basically my puzzle at this point. So you see, I can start examining stuff, and I can mess around with whatever I need to in the environment to figure out how to get him free. I definitely like the voice acting a lot so far. Both of these characters sound really good. So, you know, I can start looking at stuff. Let's just talk to him again, just in case he has any additional info to say to us.
Hey, McGuffin.
What is it?
See, I can get some more info here. How does our plan go again? How could
That kidnapper with his troll. Who is he?
The sorcerer. He's called Monkus. He's the son of the Archwitch Mortroga.
The Archwitch? How did she know that you'd made such an important discovery?
Beetle, my servant. I sent him on a secret mission to the Archmage. I must have caught him. Beetle.
Poor Beetle. How can such a heavily loaded dragon fly at all?
Isn't it a trifle improbable that a 50-metre-long dragon with a pathetically small wingspan could be physically capable of transporting such a substantial amount of gear?
Nice.
How should I know? I'm an archaeologist, not an aeronautical scientist. I don't concern myself with trivialities. I see it flying, so I believe it.
I, however, find it illogical.
Then it must be magic.
Hmm?
If something isn't logical in this world, then it's always down to magic. Very practical. You can explain everything like that. Something's flying that can't fly. Magic.
Nice. See, they're making fun of, you know, genre conventions of fantasy. Good stuff. How does our plan go again?
Can we talk through this plan again, just to be sure?
You come up with a way to release the cage. As soon as we're flying close to the ground in the White Ridge Mountains, you let me in the cage drop, and then jump yourself.
Do you think you'll survive the impact?
I hope so. The dragon will have to fly close to the mountain peaks. There are lots of pine trees and snowdrifts there.
And chasms and canyons and rocks?
Yes, I know. But I've got to get back to my cottage and get the book from my cellar. They mustn't get their hands on it.
Very important. All right.
I'll just carry on then. You wait here.
You wait here. Okay, great. That's all the time I have for this first video. Thank you for watching. Josiah plays The Book of Unwritten Tales. I'll see you next time.